So welcome to Weekly Endeavours, I guess. Is that copyrighted? Weekly Endeavours YouTube? No, it's fine. We're all good. That's fine. So the reason why I've done all of this and put this all together is because I realised that there's so much that I learned in the space of a week that I come across inside and out of the gaming industry, out of the music industry in particular, and I just want to share it and just give it around, give it to anyone that can contextually use it within their own creative path. So all creators welcome, all questions welcome, all insights welcome. Correct me if I'm wrong, give me some tips, this is my learning portfolio. So, and I've just decided to call it Weekly Endeavours. So that's the thing. So let's see what I've done this week, if I've done much at all. So I actually launched, I guess, social platforms for the first time, which is exciting. But I have no idea what this is supposed to look like. I'm solely doing it so that my future self can thank me. I mean, literally, look at my setup. It's me and a laptop and some washing up that I need to do. God's sake. This all stemmed because there was a call that I had with a girl called Paisley that was introduced to me through a friend called Brad, and she had some questions regarding how she wanted to get into the live industry. And I posted up a podcast about that of the full call, and I'll be doing YouTube of the little bits in between, some key points that I found. And the main thing is that she was looking to go direct into live, and I feel that she had all the tools right in front of her to be involved in live right now. She didn't need a record label. She didn't even need publishers, management companies. All of these things they sound good, but they're irrelevant for what she wants. So direct experience is a big thing for me. And that's my take home number one. The first thing I decided to post was Overwatch and Call of Duty leaving Twitch and signing an exclusive deal with YouTube. The reason why I think that's really important still is because it's now going to level out the playing field, where originally 75% of all streaming traffic was going through Twitch. I think that it's going to level out the playing field and encourage more people to use different platforms with different exclusives everywhere. That's good for creators everywhere. If you're a streamer or even a creator that wants to get involved with streamers and you're in YouTube, that's fine. You're going to get an influx of people coming there because of this deal. But then if you're in Twitch and you're scared that you might lose a couple of people, I wouldn't worry too much about it, providing that you make sure that Twitch is your main source of content, but then you're still having routes that are seeping beyond that, because before Twitch, what was there? I guess there was YouTube, but there's nothing quite like it. So it's good to just expand and make sure that you're present in all forms so that you can transform as a person and as a digital brand throughout all of these things. Through Instagram, whatever changes, whatever comes, TikTok is here. What's it going to be in the future? What is next? To make sure that you're continuing to travel, because you don't want to be defined by your platform. Content creators have just got to keep doing their thing, but make sure that they're spreading themselves as far as they possibly can and not to be phased by these exclusive movements. That's my take home number two. I made a post on Billie Eilish. The reason is that I looked online at some of the backlash that she was getting for the fact that I know there was a little bit of controversy around the Grammy Awards this year. However, it's irrelevant. I think that it's irrelevant because she's incredibly creative all the way up until she was 18, when she was awarded with these 5 Grammy Awards. The way that she was brought up, the way that she was encouraged, her family, the team that she had that were around her, all of these things are incredibly important. Her abnormality is her normality, if that makes sense. We're very indoctrinated amongst trends and cultures that are around us when we have things like school, when we have things like digital platforms that unify everything together, and other people weighing opinions and having judgmental opinions from around us, trying to keep us in a particular path, which is all because people care about us. But in reality, when you're nurturing the general direction of what your heart is telling you to do, you'll always do your best and you'll always enjoy that. And I think that in a creative essence, being able to have a full creative understanding of the art, second to none. It's one of the most important things that you can do. She has had an upbringing like no other. So what that means for creators, taking from Billie Eilish's path is that surround yourself by people that are able to encourage you on these journeys, and don't be held back by people that don't see things the way that you do, and not in a stubborn way. Billie's one of the first people to recommend other artists, and she always shares the art that she's influenced by, and she's always growing from the things that are around her. And I think that that's something that we falter by, is that yes, that our art is something that is unique to us, but then it doesn't mean that it's any lesser or any greater than anyone else's art. Everything is something to learn from, and she articulated that perfectly. So if there's anything I can take home from that, is to be yourself, but also keep learning. That is my take home number 3. I keep doing this hand ticking thing, but I guess it's like a tick box. Fourth post of the week is TikTok. Popular now, we all know it's popular, but I also think that it's still underrated and still has incredible amounts of potential. I touched upon the fact that Break My Stride has actually gone back into the chart because of how it was used amongst the trend. I think that this is a perfect and quite late game example as to how the culture is driven by platforms, and I think that there's a lot of fun that can be had with that, and through fun you'll be able to generate a lot of incredible creative content. So I can't wait to see what happens next. For that, I think that discovery of new platforms and being creative inside of that platform is my content creator tip there. I'm not sure what number that is, I cannot remember. I'm going to start writing things down after this. So Ditto to launch blockchain. That's really important, and I think that that's going to be, in a very boring way, extremely important for all artists everywhere. Because as soon as you can remove the administration of having to chase up all of these things and having to learn everything, your back end just becomes a system that is completely looked after by everyone else's input. And that is something that would be brilliant for artists, because they can stay being artists, they can continue being creative. If any of the content creators that are listening to this or are on their journey, they should definitely be aware that there's a lot of things that they can do to save them time. For a creator, I think that having this level of understanding is fundamental to make the most out of your self-starting journey. But when you get further down the line and you have a team that's building around you, it's best that they do the best that they can to take that admin away from you, so you can just focus on being creative and being an artist. Learn more about the industry that's around you and keep up to date with those trends. And when people say stuff like decentralized blockchain and how to collect royalties and stuff, if you don't know, ask. If not, there's services like TuneCore, like Ditto, like CD Baby, like PRS in the UK, like PPL, MCPS, that can all help you out. They're really helpful as well if you give any of them a ring or just talk to them online. I highly recommend just doing a bit of the groundwork if you're just a solo player by yourself, like a solo musician, or even just a band that's by yourself. I highly recommend it. Get involved. PPL's free. It's a game changer if you own your own rights. I will have to do a video on that at some point, because that is a complicated old thing. If you are an artist or a creator and the admin is getting in your way, sometimes it's worth finding a way to make technology or teams carry the burden for you, even if it's in exchange for some of the equity. Because as an artist or a creator, the most important thing to you is the art. Don't mistake that, and just keep doing what you feel is right. So that's quite a lot in the space of a week now that I think about it. There's much more to be aware of that's happening. There's a lot of industry growth that is occurring everywhere. I'd like to spend a bit more time focusing on the gaming industry in the next coming weeks. I think that especially with the YouTube exclusive deal, now that the water is starting to settle amongst where all the creators are going to be, the journey is very much only beginning. With the amount of hours that's being spent, this is starting to overtake actual sports. I think esports is definitely doing its rounds in terms of the streamer realm. So I guess that's Weekly Endeavours number 1. I have no idea what this is going to be like, and I guess there's one note that I can share right from the get-go, is that my mantra of 2020 at the moment is to, instead of looking at all of these goals that are right in the distance, I don't know if it's the same with anyone else, but I often find myself being weighed down by the fact that I'd never reach them, or it's not the fact that I'm not working towards them, it's just the fact that I really shoot for the stars. And I think that it's important to always be ambitious, and nothing is impossible. But I think that taking the first steps and building the ladder is the best way to get to the next level. And instead of looking at the next level and thinking of all of those good things that you have, is to actually make the first move and to bring yourself right back into the moment. And so, yeah, don't get me wrong. Do I have a face for YouTube? I don't know. Do I have information that can help people? I hope so. Watch this space. I'm going to be finding as much information as I can. I'm going to be putting it in ways that can help creators. I'll be far more articulate, I'm sure. But if you're watching this, thank you very much for checking it out. I'm going to keep these up to date as much as I can. And this is my learning portfolio number 1. And we'll see where we go from there. So thanks very much. Any questions, comments, queries, just like always, keep them coming. This is a new platform and language for me. I'm just going to use it and practice what I preach. So thank you and good luck.